Today's webinar is about your newest member benefit, the SavvyCard. Learn how the SavvyCard can capture contact information, leverage your social media, and help grow your business. Make sure you keep the competitive edge and utilize technology available to make your transactions as seamless as possible from prospecting to closings. If you have not signed up for your free NSDCR member benefit, you will receive instructions on how to do so during this webinar. Also be sure to like us on Facebook. Your presenter, Ruth O'Leary, Director of Sales of SavvyCard.
All right, thank you so much, Jennifer. Excuse me, and welcome to the SavvyCard webinar, and thank you in advance for your time, everyone. I'm going to use Elizabeth Gill's card for the presentation today. So you all have an Agent SavvyCard, and in fact, everything I show you here today on this webinar, you have at absolutely $0 to SavvyCard. It's a free member benefit from North San Diego County Association of Realtors. So every single thing I show you here today is yours at $0. So the first thing I'm going to show you all, in case, to Jennifer's point, in case you haven't claimed your card yet. So SavvyCard has been sending out emails to everyone telling you, here's your member benefit, click here to claim your account. Your account is already set up. We just need you to claim it. If for whatever reason you've missed those emails, please don't worry about it. Just go to SavvyCard.com, SavvyCard.com. And in the top right-hand corner, you'll see Get SavvyCard. So simply select Get SavvyCard, enter the email address that you've got registered with CRMLS, and hit Submit. Then my system will send you an email that will ask you to set a password, enter your cell number. Once you enter the cell number, it will text your card to you. And then the card will, or the email will actually also say to you, submit your photo to us and we'll add your photo to the card. So you can either have a full body photo attached to your card, or you can have a headshot. So it's whatever photo you use in your marketing today. That's the photo you want to send to us. So once you've claimed your account, you can reply to that email and send your photo in to us at the time. Now, some of you might, when you receive the card, see something like this, a blue background. Please don't be worried about that. North San Diego has actually purchased a fully branded card for you. So once you send your photo in to us, my guys will actually completely design the card as well at that time. So you all get an Agent SavvyCard. Now, once you set your password, this will allow you to access your SavvyCard account by going to SavvyCard.com, and logging in with that email address and your password. It will take you here. And this is the back end or engine room or control panel of your card, if you like. So this is the consumer facing side, and this is your engine room. And once you get to SavvyCard.com, you'll see a tab up here that says Savvy School. And if I go to Savvy School right now and I scroll down, we've got orientation and training here. And then we've got some videos. They're all about 6 minutes long. Share and text, referral team, seller share, listing share, SEO video. And they're all, as I say, about 6 minutes long. Down here, I've got some ebooks and infographics. These are tips to tell you how to set up a Facebook page, how to advertise on Facebook, how to nurture your leads. And here I've got a listing presentation insert, which I would recommend you all go in and download and take to your next listing appointment. And then down here, I've got tutorials. So every single thing I show you here today on this webinar, you can all access bite-sized chunks of how-tos from here. And I appreciate right now, these questions may not mean anything at all to you because you don't know our product. But by the time I do this webinar, these questions will make an awful lot more sense. So how do I claim my card? Well, it's going to tell you go to SavvyCard.com and hit Get SavvyCard. Enter the email address you've got registered with CRMLS, and follow the steps in the email that you get. You know, set a password, enter your cell number. How do I add my photo? So it's going to tell you once you've claimed your card, reply to that email and send your photo in. And if the background is blue, don't worry about it. We'll fix it when we get your photo. So how do I access card analytics? How do I add my SavvyCard to my phone if I've got an Android? How do I add it to my phone if I've got an iPhone? How do I share my card? How do I share it onto various social media channels? How do I turn off or turn on other buttons? How do I add my email signature? How do I add tools to my card? How do I add vendors to my card? And if the number and email address on my card is incorrect, how do I change it? So bite-sized chunks, and they're all step-by-step guides with photos to help you, walk through it every step of the way. So what I like to do before I actually jump in and use Elizabeth's card, show you the product itself, I want to walk you through one of those videos that we saw, or that is available. It's called Share and Text. And Share and Text talks to this. What do we do today? We do that, don't we? Why do we do that? Well, we've always done that. Our parents did that. So I would ask all of you, how many of those business cards have you all handed out over the last 12 months? Probably lots. Did you get the contact details of everyone you gave a card to? Probably not. And how valuable would it be to you if you did? So, we all like to think our cards are a little bit special and more so than anybody else's, but they're not. They get treated the same way by your customers as you treat other people's. So I would ask you all now, where do you think, all the cards you've handed out over the last 12 months, where do you think they are right now? So 90% of all business cards end up in the trash in the first week. That's the rule. And 90% of the 10% that don't end up in a drawer somewhere or on a desk, right? We're all guilty of it. So the problem with that is this. When you hand over a card to somebody, they take it away from you and put it in their bag or their pocket, and then you stand there and you cross your fingers and you hope. So you're giving up control of that sales situation and just standing, as I say, with your fingers crossed. So Share and Text is 250 times more effective than handing out a paper business card. And all of you will be able to do this when we finish this webinar. And you'll be able to do it anywhere with anyone. So what I'd like you all to do is, rather than hand out that paper business card the next time, utter these magic words. Can I text you my business card and follow up with you later? So you text your SavvyCard to prospects that you meet. A couple of wins straight off the bat. You get to add that person's contact details to your phone contacts, and the recipient is prompted to add your contact details to their phone contacts. And then we're going to encourage you to follow up by text, within 1 to 2 business days. So just to frame it, 48 billion robocalls were made in the United States in 2018. 48 billion. That number went up. Last year, it went to 54 billion. And because of those pesky robocalls, 50% of all calls made in the United States of America today go unanswered. And we all do it, right? Number comes in, you don't recognize the number, you'll just let it go to voicemail. Your customers are doing that to you. If the number comes in and they don't recognize the number. So I'm an iPhone girl, and an iPhone, or Apple, in their wisdom, when they came out with their latest iOS 13 update in November of 2019, introduced a new feature. And that new feature is called Silence Unknown Callers. And Apple, in their wisdom, decided that 54 billion robocalls was a reason to introduce this feature. So SavvyCard, and the way we get around it is this. Once you send your photo into our team, they'll add your photo to the card, and then they'll also put it on that thing that looks like an app. So that thing is not a native app, it's called an icon, and we'll talk more about that in just a second, but we put your face on that tile, that thing that looks like an app. So what you would do is you tap the icon on your phone, it opens your SavvyCard into your mobile device, you press the share button, select share to an individual, and now guess what? You need your name, their number, and you type in a brief message. Let's find you a home. And then you press share. And now the first win is to you. You get prompted. Do you want to add this person's contact details to your phone contacts? You absolutely do. So you press download contact card and then follow the steps. It doesn't matter whether you've got an Android or an Apple, just follow the steps and add them to your phone contacts. The recipient receives a text message with a link. And really they're getting a link to your website. They click on the link, the card opens up, and now they're prompted to add your contact details to their phone. And that's a win, right? Because now when you reach out to them, your name will show up in their phone. So when we go through the card itself, I'm going to tell you all, if the button doesn't serve a purpose on your card, turn it off. It's just noise on your card. All of your cards will have a contact info button. I'm going to tell you all that I personally would recommend that you do not turn this button off. If for whatever reason somebody dismissed your contact, that opportunity to download your details at that time, they can always download them here by simply pressing add to contacts, and it will download your details to their phone. So I wouldn't turn that button off at all. And then we encourage you to follow up by text messaging. So if we can always remember that your customers are just like you and me, they're just people, you know, the things we like, they like, the things we do, they do, the things that annoy us, annoy them. They're just people. So texting is what email used to be back in the day. And if you think about how you are with texting, you know, we're all the same. A text message comes in, it doesn't matter whether you're on a webinar or you're having dinner with friends, we'll grab that phone and we'll shoot back a quick response. And the reason for that is because texting is the cleanest form of communication that we have today. If you get a text message today, it's, you know, 99.9% of the time, it's from someone that you know. So the science around texting is that when you get a text message today, you get a rush of endorphins. So if you text people that you've made contact with, you increase the likelihood of doing business with them by 112%. So texting prospects will make you more money. There's no doubt about it. Don't cold text prospects. There's a company out there now that will text people on your behalf. Don't use their services, is my advice. You just annoy people. You'll kill an opportunity before it even starts. So you should only text after you've made contact. So I'm going to bring this slide up at the end of my presentation, and I'm going to talk to you about how you can contact SavvyCards in numerous ways. So don't worry about taking any of this information down. We'll deal with that once we finish this presentation. So as I mentioned, I'm going to use Elizabeth's card for this. So if Elizabeth had met me, she would have pressed the icon on her phone with her face on it, pressed the share button, selected share to an individual, asked for my name, my cell number, pressed share, and she would have captured my information. Now, the thing that makes this a real estate tool is this listing button right here. Excuse me. We plug directly into CRMLS. So now somebody can go on your card and do an entire MLS search directly from your card. Excuse me. So this information is pulling directly from CRMLS. So I'm going to click here, and it's really just all of the information that's been put into the MLS by the listing agent pertaining to this property. And we've got lead capture opportunities here. And if I were to click on this and enter my details and have a question or request a showing, my information or my lead, that lead is going to go to Elizabeth because I found this property on Elizabeth's tool. So, you know, my advice to everyone is when you get an email from SavvyCard, open it. We're not trying to sell you anything. We haven't got anything to sell you. You know, again, North San Diego County Association of Realtors has purchased our all singing, all dancing product for you. So now SavvyCard is an electronic business card with a full IDX search that's got lead capture capabilities. Now, if I go here to the dashboard of Elizabeth's card and I go here to card analytics, in the sharing text video, I asked you how valuable would it be if you had the contact details of everyone you gave a card to over the last 12 months? Well, your SavvyCard will do that for you. It will capture the information of everyone you shared a card to. It will allow you to add it to your phone contacts at the time of the share. And then it will also store that share here in a nice light CRM for you. It's really a share log. So prior to this demo, here's where, Elizabeth shared her card to me, and there's the message that she put in at the time when she shared her card to me. But here is where I shared Elizabeth's card to my friend Dowd Power. There's his name, there's his cell number, and here's the message that I put in when I shared Elizabeth's card to Dowd. So SavvyCard will track every share you've ever made, but also every share someone else makes when they share your card to somebody else. So it tracks referrals. And then up here, it will count it for you, how many shares you've made, how many shares Elizabeth has made, how many shares, how many referrals you've had, and then how many views your card has had. And here it will list your top 5 referrers. So if I'm looking, coming up to Christmas, who I'm buying gifts for and sending cards to, this is my first point of call, right? So whenever I'm anywhere now that's the dashboard or back end of my card, and it's not that main page, by simply hitting My SavvyCards up here, it will always take me back to the main page. So what we're going to do now is go in here and go to edit this card, because this is your card and you decide what you want on or what you want off. Now, when we create these cards, we plug in directly into CRMLS, and I know 5 pieces of information about you. I know your name, I know your telephone number, the primary number you have in CRMLS, I know your email address that you've got registered with CRMLS, and I know your brokerage name, and I know your brokerage address. And those 5 pieces of information allow me to create these cards and turn on these buttons, these icons here. So when you guys go to edit this card, you'll see 6 tabs up across here. And the first one is background. Well, background I own. I do the design. But the only thing you can do here is when you get here, you'll see a thing called card info. And it's the only thing you'll see here. I see a couple of extra things because I'm SavvyCard staff. When you click on card info, the only thing you will see is description. And you can put a title under your name. Once you do it, press save, and it will allow you to put a title under your name on the card. And that's the only thing you can do there. So picture, also mine. You just send your photo to support@savvycard.com or reply to that email that you've accessed when you claimed your card, and my guys will add your photo to the card. Buttons we're going to come back to in just a sec, but this is where we're going to own the card and add content to the card and turn buttons on and off. Icon, this is what Elizabeth's card looks like on her phone right now, but once she sends her photo in to us, we'll add her photo to the card, and then we'll put her photo in here as well, so her photo looks like it'll look like an app with her photo on it. Settings is mine, you don't have to worry about that. And then here I've got a marketing tab. So all SavvyCards generate an email signature. So once you send your photo in to us, your photo will appear here where we have this head, if you like, this gray head. You simply select whichever email signature that you would like, and you come down here and hit generate email signature. And then it's really just a copy and paste exercise to add this into whatever email signature that you use, Outlook, Google, Gmail, whatever it may be. And then here we've got a QR code. So all SavvyCards, again, generate a QR code. And, these things used to be very polarizing back in the day. You either liked them or you didn't. There was never any in between. And the reason you didn't like them was because you had to download an app to use them. And when you have to download an app, and go remember your password, and, it's taking up memory on your phone, that's a barrier to adoption. But these are coming back into popularity again now because the cameras on all of our smartphones, again, it doesn't matter if you've got an iPhone or an Android, the cameras on our smartphones are so wonderful now that they will pick up the pixels on this QR code so that they can read. Our phones can now read these QR codes. So all you have to do is open your camera whenever you see one of these and hold it in front of that, and it will read it for you. So you guys can copy and send this off to your printer and have them put it on any printed materials if you so wish. And when somebody puts their camera in front of it, it will return your Agent Savvy card to that person. So I'm now going to go back to buttons. And buttons, anything down the right-hand side that's green is turned on. Anything that's red is not. It's just that simple. So the first thing we have here is button style, and you don't have to click on the arrow. You can click anywhere at all on the field. So I can come in here and I can change the button style on my card. I simply select what I want and press save. And then call and email. I'm pulling this information from CRMLS. If this number is not your cell number, you need to go back and change it at CRMLS, because this is the number that you've got in CRMLS is your primary contact number. You really want that to be your cell number. I'm not the only vendor pulling from that pool of data. So if it's wrong for me, it's wrong for everyone else. So long as you go back and change it at CRMLS, it will poke my system and we'll go in and we'll correct it at that time. So email again, I'm just pulling from CRMLS. So text, here you want to enter your cell number. So just enter your cell number and say, yes, show this button on my card, press save. It will turn that green and it will put a button on your card. Now, about me. So this is a Word document and nothing more than that. So you can go to your website address or your LinkedIn profile and copy your bio. Simply press yes, show this button on my card, and press save if you decide that this is a button you want to turn on. And then I know a lot of people now, of course, have video profiles. So you can go in here and just copy and paste the link to your video profile and populate it in here as well, you know, if you decide you want to turn that button on. Now, about my company. So again, I mentioned, I know your brokerage name and your brokerage address, which is what I populate here. Again, I would come in here and I'd add your cell number and your email address to this. But this is a Word document again. If you want to go in and add your brokerage mission statement that you can copy off their website, again, it's just a copy and paste exercise. You just have to remember to press save when you make a change to this card. So if I go to Elizabeth's card right now, there's a find button on this card. So again, it's name and address of brokerage, right? It's one of the 5 pieces I pulled from the MLS. But this button connects to Google Maps. And if you meet people in your office, that's a very useful button to have. It will give them turn-by-turn directions to your office. But so many of us don't now, do we, you know? And if you don't meet people in your office, this button serves no purpose. I would recommend that you turn it off. It's just noise on your card if it doesn't serve a purpose. So my site, social, and recommend, I'm going to come back to these. The 3 of these follow the same format. So before I do that, I'm going to look at contact info. Now, when a person is adding or gets the opportunity to download your contact information to their phone, this is where they're downloading that information from. This is where they're pulling that information from. So please make sure that this is up to date. So come in here, enter your cell number, enter your email address, you know, put your website on it. And then again, just make sure you press save when we make that, when we make those changes. So my site, social, and recommend, as I say, they all follow the same format. I can layer the card with other website addresses. So I'm going to go up here, and this is Elizabeth's website. A lot of people will copy this URL address and attach it to their card and call it my website. I'm never that keen on that, if I'm honest with you, because as a consumer, me going to your card and seeing something that says my website doesn't mean anything to me, you know. But if I open Elizabeth's website and I see here, if I go to buyers and sellers, you know, what's my home worth? So all of you on this call, all of you have a home valuation tool, whether you're getting it from your broker or whether you're, getting it from your MLS or you're getting it from your association of realtors. Every single one of you has access to a home valuation tool. And what you can do is open it up and then copy the URL address, copy the website address, bring it back here to your dashboard. Now, whenever we copy a website, we must delete the http:// that's here because we've copied it. And now I can add this to my card and I can call it something that makes sense to a realtor. You know, get your free home valuation. And if I go back here, I've got a mortgage calculator here, which is, you know, a super very useful tool for somebody. So I can come back here again, and I can add as many of these as I like. Again, remembering to delete the HTTP because I've copied it. And now I can call this stuff. So I'm going to say, yes, show this button on my card, and press save. Now, social is the same. Again, I can layer the card with all of my social media channels. So I would again recommend that you open it up and then come back to your dashboard, deleting the HTTP because we've copied it, and simply paste your, you know, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your, you know, Instagram, whatever it is you have. You can attach them all here to your card. Okay, and now I've got a recommend button. So I would ask all of you, how today are you providing buyers with information once they buy a home? How do they get your list of service providers? Because we all know that as a realtor, you're the go-to person for probably the next 6 months, aren't you, once they purchase a home? So when you think about how you provide that information today, you know, you either get a call from somebody and you're texting a contact over to them, sharing a contact through your phone contacts, or maybe when they purchase a home, you've got a spreadsheet and you email them the spreadsheet at the time that they buy a house. However that may be. Once you do that, that's static data. They've got that information now, but we all know that relationships change. The plumber you're working with today may not necessarily be the plumber you were working with 6 months ago. So what you can do is this: open the website address of the company that you're working with and bring it back here to your dashboard. Remembering again, delete the HTTP because we've copied it when we copied the website address. And now you can go in here and you can layer the card with all of the service providers that you work with and press save. Okay, now let's take a look at Elizabeth's card. And the last thing I'm going to show you before we look at Elizabeth's card is, unlike a native app where you have to go to an app store and download it, you know, we're not that. We look like an app on your phone. We're called a progressive web app. We look like an app, but we're web-based. We index in a Google search in the same way that any website does. In fact, better than a website does, a traditional website. So Brenda Carnegie is a realtor over here in my neck of the woods, over here in Pinellas, Florida. If I type her name into a Google search, her SavvyCard comes up #1 in a Google search for her name. So Brenda's got another business, so she's got a SavvyCard for business as well as SavvyCard for real estate. And they're both #1 and #2 in a Google search for her name. I beat out her brokerage website, her LinkedIn profile, her Zillow profile, you know, her Twitter, her realtor.com, all of those things she's had much, much longer than she's had her SavvyCard. And we're not magic or black magic by any manner of means. Every time Brenda or somebody else presses one of these buttons, Google sees it as a click-through or engagement on her website. So it just has tremendous organic SEO capabilities. And you can see here, you know, the reason I'm able to open these websites or your SavvyCards, excuse me, on my screen is because they're exactly that. They're websites. They index in a Google search. We look different to any other website you've probably seen before on a dashboard because we're built specifically for a mobile device. And 70% of all internet searches were done on a mobile device last year. And even if you think of your own behavior, you know, we all do it, don't we? You know, of an evening, no one gets their laptop out anymore to do a search. You know, we really only use our laptops now for work. And even then, most of that, if we can, is done on a mobile device. So we're built specifically for the device that 70% of all internet searches were done on. So now let's have a look at Elizabeth's card. So wherever Elizabeth's card is, when somebody taps that icon on their phone, they're really refreshing her website and they're always pulling from that dashboard. So whatever information Elizabeth has on that dashboard is now going to be visible to wherever her card is. So you can see now that we've changed the button style. We've turned on buttons. We've got our text button here. We've turned off buttons. The find button is gone. We've got the My Sites button here. And now I've layered the card with valuable content for my recipient, for the consumer. And if I go to the More button, I've got my social button turned on here, where of course I've got my various social media platforms attached to it. And then here on the Recommend button, I've got all my trusted service providers. So now all of a sudden, your agent SavvyCard is an electronic business card with a full IDX search. We're lead capture, because you capture the person's information at the time and it stores it. We're lead generation, because it notifies you of any referrals that you receive when somebody shares your card. And we're also a digital hub where you now can connect all sorts of web-based tools and service providers to the card. And then you can use the card as a distribution channel for that information. And once you get the card provisioned, is what we call it, so adding your photo and layering the card out, you can also then share the card onto social media. And again, you just press the share button, select share to social media, and you can pick any of the social media platforms that you use, and then you can push it out to social media. So if you're looking for a mortgage calculator, and post. And I apologize. I know the last time I did this, the typing, I believe, causes a problem with the people on the other side. So I do apologize. Excuse me. Okay, so that's the agent SavvyCard, electronic business card, full IDX search, lead capture, lead generation, and digital hub for all your other web-based tools and service providers. So I mentioned that you guys get the old singing, old dancing version of our product. If I go to the Find Homes button on Elizabeth's card, here we know we've got a full IDX search, Find Homes, full IDX search. But we've also got a tab here called Featured Listings. And you guys get, as part of the member benefit, what we call a property savvy card. So every time a listing agent puts a listing into Matrix, my system will create one of these for that listing. So it's a standalone website specifically for that property. And it's an automated feature, right? As soon as you put it into Matrix, my system pulls, we create that, and then our system will send an email back to you. And I'm going to say this several times, but when you get an email from SavvyCard, open it is my advice, So I should have mentioned, excuse me, at the time that somebody shares your card to somebody else. So when I shared Elizabeth's card to my friend Dad Power, Elizabeth received an email from SavvyCard. Hey, Elizabeth, Ruth O'Leary just shared your card to Dad Power. Here's his name, here's his cell number, and here's the message that Ruth put in. So, when you get an email from SavvyCard, we're either advising you that a lead has been generated from your card, that there's a referral after being generated from your card, or if you put a listing into Matrix, we create this, we automatically attach it to the listing button on your agent card, and my system will also email you to say, hey, Elizabeth, congratulations on your listing. Here's your property savvy card for that listing. Here are some things we recommend you do with it, Elizabeth. Who better to give this to than the home seller, right? So you can do it from this email. Press this button. We call it Seller Share. And we've got an automated feature. Once you click on that button in that email, my system will say, tell me the name of your home seller. Give me their email address. We don't do anything with that information except send an email to your home seller right now in real time on your behalf. And our email will say to the home seller, hey, John, or dear John, Elizabeth Gill has created this standalone website for your property. She's marketing it through various channels, but she recommends that you do too. The more interest and leads you generate, the faster you sell your property. Here's how you do that, John. Press the share button, select share to social, pick any of the social media platforms that you use, write something personal about your home. Ask your friends and family to share, press post. So I think it's fair to say that everyone on this call knows that Elizabeth, has a for sale sign outside that property, right? And the only reason she wouldn't have a for sale sign is if the HOA have told her that it's not allowed. That's the only reason Elizabeth will not have a good old-fashioned stake in the ground, saying that that property is for sale. And everyone on this call knows why. Number one reason for that good old-fashioned wooden sign is to let everybody in the area know that this is Elizabeth's farm area, that I'm the listing agent for John's house. And if you're thinking of selling your house, call the number on this sign. That's the number one reason. And then number two is to let other people know that the property is for sale as they're driving by or whatever. But number one is, letting people know it's your farm area. Having a home seller post the Property Savvy card to their own Facebook page is a lot like having a digital representation of that for sale sign go right through the home seller's channel. At zero cost to you, right? It's already there, it's a member benefit. So it should be part of your standard operating procedure. I'm going to put a wooden stake outside the door and I'm going to send this to my home seller because I want him to post it to his Facebook page. And then, of course, once somebody clicks on the picture, it re-engages with the Property Savvy card, where now a person can look at photos, go to property details. If they've got kiddies, they're going to look at schools. And again, lead capture behind each of these buttons, or they can just press contact agent and call you directly. So it's all about the next customer, right? You've got this customer. Now we need to use this listing to attract the next customer. So I'm going to take you back here to Elizabeth's dashboard. So again, when I'm not somewhere, or when I'm somewhere that's not that main page, I simply click My Savvy Cards at the top, and it takes me back to the main dashboard. And this we've seen. This is Elizabeth's engine room or dashboard for her agent card. But I'm going to scroll down here a little bit, and then all of your listings are also here on the dashboard of your card. So to the right of it here, I've got Share to Home Seller. And I can click here and enter the name and email address of the home seller and simply press Save and Send. And again, the same thing happens, right? My system will send an email to them in real time, giving them step-by-step instructions to post it onto Facebook. And then our system will also email you, the listing agent, just to let you know that, hey, Elizabeth, if you want to contact the home seller for 613 Stanley Court, you can do so, safe in the knowledge that we've sent the email to them with the Property Savvy card. So when you put a listing into Matrix, my system will email you. Through that email, you can access seller share. That email will also recommend that you post the property to your own Facebook page. So again, if we consider that it's not about this house anymore, someone's going to buy this house sooner or later. It's now about our next customer. So we're going to use this property to leverage our next customer. So our system will say we recommend you post it to your Facebook page. You can do it from this email, press this button. So we're going to do that, and we're going to push it out onto Facebook. And so it's new home on Stanley Court if you're looking for homes in or surrounding areas. Click here. So any form of digital advertising today is called clickbait, right? Anything. So whatever you see on Facebook or any other, online, It's all called clickbait. They just want you to click. So when you get a listing today, you should be pushing it all out through social media. And again, you can do it directly from the email that my system will send to you once you put the listing into Matrix. And it's not about this house. We just need people to click. So new home on Stanley Road. If you're looking for homes on Stanley Road or surrounding areas, click here. Because once you click, again, it's going to open up the Property Savvy card where, again, you're going to look at photos, you're going to look at property details. And if you've got kiddies, you're going to look at schools. And again, you can go through the lead capture there or call the agent directly. But if there's something there that you don't like, and it's a beautiful looking home, but if there's something there that doesn't appeal to you, you can just go to the listing button. And as we all know, there's a complete a complete CRMLS IDX feed on these cards, because Elizabeth can sell you any house. It's not about this house. She can sell you any house. So it's all about using the listings that you've got today as clickbait to get people to engage. Okay, so I'm now going to take you back to Savvy School, and we're going to look at all of the things that are in Savvy School now, because I think they're going to make an awful lot more sense to you now that we understand the product. So down here to our videos. So share and text, we've seen that. SavvyCard referral team. Well, now that we understand the lead generation aspect of this card, when someone shares your card to someone else, you receive an email from SavvyCard in real time letting you know that someone shared to someone, and it will give you all of the contact details and the message they put in at the time. So, and then of course it stores it in your card analytics. So this video, which is about 6 minutes long, will tell you that all of your past clients should have your face on their phone. All of your friends and family should have your face on their phone. All the vendors you work with today should have your face on their phone. And I'd be very transparent with them. I'd tell them, guys, I know you're referring me today and I'm grateful, truly I am, thank you, But if you refer me using this tool, I get notified in real time. I'll be able to follow up in real time. We'll all come out of this looking good, So seller share. Now that we understand Property Savvy cards and that a Property Savvy card is generated once you put a listing into Matrix, and that you can access seller share either from your dashboard or through that email that SavvyCard sends to you once you put the listing into Matrix. That seller share talks to that, but what it tells you is that that's not where seller share begins. Seller share begins the very moment you walk through the door at your next listing appointment. Down here, I have a listing presentation insert, which I mentioned all of you should download. And you should be taking this into your next listing appointment, and you should be telling the homeowner, hey, John, as well as all the wonderful marketing things I'm going to do for you, I'm going to make one of these for you. And if you've already got an existing listing, I'd open the Property Savvy card and I'd show it to him. Do you know, John, that 9% of homeowners in the United States of America today say that they were made aware the home they currently live in was for sale through the home sellers channel? And this is how we're going to access that 9%, John. I'm going to create this standalone website for your property. I'm going to send it back to you, and then you're going to push it out through your social media channels. The more eyes we get on this property, John, as soon as it hits the market, the more efficient we'll be in selling it and maintaining the asking price. If you have any other members of your family, John, who are active on social media, please give me their contact details. I'll send it to all of them, John. So that's where it begins, right? The minute you walk through the listing appointment. And then listing share, again, it talks to the fact that you should be using these listings as clickbait on your social media channels. And you can do that directly from the email that SavvyCard generates once you put the listing into Matrix. Or of course, you can always just go to the Property Savvy card itself and press the share button. So SavvyCard SEO, again, talks to the remarkable SEO features that the product has. And then down here again, just handy bite-sized chunks of set up a Facebook page, do Facebook advertising, nurture leads, But this one is particularly pertinent to our product. You should all download this and take it into your next listing appointment. It has a picture of the property savvy card. We talk about the technology. We talk to seller share. And then we tell them some of the other things you're going to do with this property if they list with you, such as put it into the MLS, you know, market it through various channels, all that sort of stuff. And now let's come down here to our tutorials, where these will make so much more sense. How do I claim my card? We've already done that. How do I add my photo to it? Well, you don't, you know, we do. You either submit your photo at the time that you've claimed your card, or you just email it to support@savvycard.com and my guys will add it for you. And they'll also update your background. You don't do that either. How do I access card analytics? Right now we know what that is. It's that share log. So it's going to tell you log into your dashboard and simply select card analytics. Now, how do I get that icon, that thing that looks like an app? How do I get that on my phone? I've texted the card to myself through that email when I claimed my account, but how do I get it now to add it to my card if I've got an Android? Well, if you've got an Android, all you're doing with this card really is adding a website to your home screen. That's all you're doing. So once you've opened the card, or indeed any website on your Android, with an Android, in the top right-hand corner, you have 3 little dots down in a row. It's your menu bar on an Android. You simply tap those 3 little dots, the menu bar rolls down, and you select Add to Home Screen. That's all you're doing. You're adding a website to your home screen. So that's how you do it if you have an Android. But what if I've got an iPhone? How do I do it if I've got an iPhone? Well, with an iPhone, our menu bar, once you've opened the SavvyCard into your mobile device, or indeed any website in your mobile device, our menu bar on an iPhone is a square with an arrow down here at the bottom of our phone, square with an arrow. That's our menu bar on an iPhone. And you tap that square with an arrow, your menu bar pushes up. And again, we're simply selecting Add to Home Screen. So that's how you do it if you've got an iPhone. How do I share my card? Well, you just press the share button and share to individual, enter their name and their cell number and type in a message. How do I share it onto social? Same, press the share button, share to social, pick any of the social media platforms that you use. How do I turn or turn off buttons? Well, we know we go to the Edit This Card on your dashboard and go to the Buttons tab. And anything that's red is turned off, anything that's green is turned on. But you decide, it's your card. How do I set my SavvyCard email signature? Again, go to your dashboard, edit this card, go to the Marketing tab, follow the steps. How do I add valuable tools, right? So that's how do I layer the My Sites button with all of that content. So again, it'll just walk you through that. How do I add vendors to my card? And again, it will just walk you through it, edit this card, go to the recommend button and layer the card with website addresses for your vendors. Now, how do I update my card? If my phone number is wrong or my email address is not the one I want it to be, how do I update that? And that's going to tell you that you've got to do that at the MLS, you know, change it there, and then it will just automatically update. We'll automatically pull from the MLS once you've made a change, and we'll update it from there. So that's the product that you get from North San Diego County Association of Realtors, as I say, as a member benefit, and you've got all of the things that I've shown you there for absolutely $0. So I'm going to bring this slide up at the end, excuse me, and what I'm going to do right now is ask you, if you've got any questions for me at all, can you just shoot them into that questions box, and we'll get to them right now. Or I'm sorry, it's a chat box. So any questions you've got at all, pop them right in there for me and we'll answer them right now. So in San Diego, we have Paragon MLS. Does the property listing ad work here too? So Janet, this particular product offering is being brought to you by North San Diego County Association of Realtors and your affiliation or their affiliation with CRMLS. So Paragon and San Diego, although we're in talks with them, we haven't finalized a deal with them yet. So no is the answer to your question right now. No, you do not get a Property Savvy card for a listing that you put into Paragon. But if you put a listing into CRMLS, then you absolutely will. Okay, all right, okay, I should probably start at the beginning here. I submitted my photo but haven't heard back, and it's not on my card yet. Okay, once you submit your photo to support@savvycard.com, you're going to get one of two emails back from SavvyCard. One email is going to say, hey, got your photo, it's great, thank you. We take up to 5 business days to add your photo and swap the background out if needed. So, you know, you're going to get that email. Or you're going to get an email that says, listen, got your photo, thanks ever so much. It doesn't work for us. It's too small in size, or there's a problem with it. So send us back something else with these parameters. So if you haven't had your photo, I would look through your emails, because you've certainly gotten one of 2 emails from us. Or else, call the number on the screen there, 727-502-6012. We also have a web chat on our website, so you can just go to our website and do instant chat with the guys at support. So either way. Oh goodness, Mark is telling me that there was bad sound there. I hope that corrected itself. Excuse me. There is a humming sound. Sorry, guys. I'm seeing this now, but I hope that was only in the beginning and that it's corrected itself. Do I have a brokerage brand of SavvyCard if you want to offer the SavvyCard to all agents at your brokerage? Well, I mean, all agents get this product at $0, not from a brokerage, but from North San Diego Association, or pardon me, North San Diego County Association of Realtors. I do have a brokerage feature where I get asked sometimes, if I don't have listings, how can I get listings? How can I get those property savvy cards if I don't have listings myself? And the answer to that is all your brokers own all of the listings, as we all know. So a broker can authorize me to put a brokerage listings tab on your card and then create a full inventory of listings for every listing within the brokerage for you. So this is Ellie's property savvy card, but this is not Ellie's listing. This listing belongs to this person here. But Ellie can push this out as clickbait on her social media channel. And, all of Ellie's contact details lie behind it, but it is not Ellie's listing. So a broker and only a broker can authorize that. Okay, excuse me. Okay, we're Paragon. What is the cost? So I get asked that question every single time I do a webinar, like truly every single time I do a webinar. If you were to purchase this product from me, it would cost you $149 setup and then $29 a month for me to provide the product to you if you as an individual were to come to me to purchase it. You cannot buy this product from me. You already have it. It's $0 to you. It's a member benefit from North San Diego County Association of Realtors. Everything I've shown you here today, you have. It's a member benefit from your association. There is no money to be paid to SavvyCard at all for this product. You've got it. Is this webinar recorded? Yes, it is. So the webinar is recorded and it will be sent to, it's recorded. And for those of you who'd like to view it after this, you can go to www.nsdcartv.com. So NSDCAR, T for Tango, V for, I can't even think now, but T for TV, television, right? So nsdcartv.com. I am in Chicago with MRED is our MLS. I have to tell you, I would love to talk to you later, Vadi Reese, with regards to Chicago and MRED. But again, this particular demonstration is for North San Diego agents who have the product as a member benefit. Oh, I see somebody's already put the link in there. Is there a place to enter your license number? Well, we actually enter your license number on the card. So all of you have your state license number referenced at the bottom of your card here. So this is a requirement by CRMLS and each of the Association of Realtors within CRMLS. So your license number is already on the card. So you don't have to worry about that. Are there any additional costs or upgrade costs? Again, I get asked that question every single time. So everything I've shown you here today is $0 to you. It's a member benefit from North San Diego County Association of Realtors. You will get a fully branded agent card to your brokerage with your brokerage logo. You can add your photo to it, either a full body cutout or a headshot. And I create a property savvy card for every single listing that you put into Matrix, and you've already got them. So my advice to everyone, and I say it several times when I do these webinars, is when you get an email from SavvyCard, open it. We're not trying to sell you anything. You've got it. You've got it all. And what I'd love for you all to do is after this webinar, you should all log in to your dashboard, because you'll get an email from me every time you put a listing into Matrix. But what about all those listings that you've currently got that are there right now? You've got a property savvy card for every single one of those listings. They're already there, already created. So just log into your dashboard, come down here to the property savvy cards, and you can do a Control F to find and just start typing in the address of your listings, and it will find it. It will identify it here for you. And then simply press Share to Home Seller. And you should all do this. You should all push those right out now to your home seller and let them post it to Facebook or whatever social media platform that they use. And then, of course, you should also be pushing that out to your own Facebook pages. Without question, I would do that right now. How do we get access to the page where the training videos and downloads are required? So if you go to SavvyCard.com, once you go there, you'll see a tab called Savvy School. And when you hit the tab for Savvy School, that's where all those videos and those bite-sized tutorials live. So this is a wonderful, wonderful resource for you after this webinar. So, okay, I'm going to have to call you separately, Kevin Laurent, excuse me, with regards to your MLSs. So if you're a member of North San Diego County Association of Realtors, then you have this product and you have all of the things that I've shown you. So let me give you a call directly after this, and we'll deal with your question individually. Excuse me. Once you submit your photo, can you change it later to update? So, once you've sent your photo to us and we add it, that's your member benefit, taken care of. We all change photos, don't we really, If you want to change your photo, then you can do. You send it to support@savvycard.com. We have a small fee. If you want to change your photo out after we've added it initially, it's not much. I think it's like $30 or something like that, I specialize in equestrian properties. Is it possible to have my homepage refer to that? Can I have my homepage be equestrian? So, Cara, that's a wonderful question. When I deploy this product, the member benefit that you get from North San Diego County Association of Realtors is effectively something like this, right? So we would create, everybody in New Palace Realty has this logo on their card, and they've all got this background on their card. So this is a brokerage background and brokerage logo specific to that brokerage. Now, whatever brokerage you belong to, Carol, excuse me, all of the agents within that brokerage will have the same background that's applied to the cards. If somebody wanted to change the background, if they want something different that's applied, then there's a fee that needs to be paid for that. It would be $149 for us to customize the card for you as an individual so that you could have something different. But you can do that. But for that to have something that's individual to you, you would have to pay, a setup fee of $149. How would your broker authorize it? How would your broker authorize the brokerage features? They can either email me directly or call me directly. But I'll tell you what, it's probably easier if they just go and email, if you email support@SavvyCard.com and just let them know that you're interested in the brokerage features, then I can reach out to them directly and we can coordinate that. So just email support@SavvyCard.com. Has Pacific Sotheby's authorized the brokerage listing tab? So we literally just went live with North San Diego County Association of Realtors deploying this product last week. This is the first webinar we've done with you guys. We did a kind of coming soon webinar prior to launch, but this is the first time we've gone into real depth with the product. So no broker in North San Diego County currently today has the brokerage features, the brokerage tab, on their agent cards, because nobody, I think, has been aware of it up until now. But again, if anyone is interested in having that added, just have your broker email support@SavvyCard.com. So not a problem, we can do that then. Can you type the website link or view the recording in the chat? Oh yes, somebody's already done that actually. Somebody much wiser than me, it would have to be said. So somebody's already typed it into the chat, that it's www.nsdcartv.com. And I'm sure Jennifer will do that again there, excuse me. So type here, I can actually do it, can't I? www.nsdcartv.com. All right, perfect. So there, I've popped it into the chat right there. And I've lost my place in the questions. These are great questions, guys. Excuse me. Okay, great. This is a wonderful question. Does either SavvyCard or NSDCAR collect and store any of the contact info that is shared through each agent system? That's a great question, Kim, because everybody's so concerned about, securing data at the moment, or indeed people using it where they shouldn't and such. I mean, we all know the stories around Facebook at the moment, don't we, No, the only person who gets that information, Kim, is you. So when you share your card to somebody and it stores that information on your dashboard, you're the only person that's accessing that information. When somebody else shares your card, you're the only person that's receiving that information or, or accessing it from your dashboard. So nobody else is doing anything at all with that information or, collecting it at all. Excuse me. It's all yours. Again, has Pacific Sotheby's authorized the brokerage tab? Candace, I'm sorry, I think I've answered that question. Somebody else has asked the very same question. Excuse me. I'd love to talk to you guys with regards to that. So again, just email. You can either email me directly. My name is Ruth. So my email address is Ruth, RUTH, @SavvyCard.com. And we can talk directly about that. Can we move the buttons around? I would like the My Sites button on the first page of my card. So I love that, Tyler. That's a great question. And I'm with you. I would like the My Sites button on my card. So in order to get the My Sites button on the front page of your card, you can't move them around. Excuse me, to answer your question directly. You can choose which the layout, where you want the cards to be, the buttons. And the reason for that is, I mentioned, we're built specifically for a mobile device. We index in a Google search. And for that reason, we strategically place these buttons, call, email, text. They're there to drive engagement. That's what you want people to do, right? I want you to contact me. So we make that as easy as we can for people. They're always the first three buttons. Then sharing the button, sharing the card, that we believe is, the next important feature for you to share the card, for other people to share the card. Then the listing button for you is the next most important button, right? That full IDX search, that's got to be the most, that's your tool, right? So that's the next one then that's placed. And now after that, you can decide what buttons you want turned on or turned off. So I turned off the find button on Elizabeth's card. And what that did was it allowed the My Sites button to come up onto the first page. So I hear you. That's a great question, Tyler. And I would want the My Sites button on the first button of the first page of my card. And that's how you do it. You can't choose where the buttons are, but if you turn off a button, it will push the My Sites button to, you know, to the next available slot, and that will get it to the first button. What is the Save Star button? A great question. Thank you, Janet. So guys, once you've texted the card to yourself, once you've claimed it, you've entered your cell number and it texts the card to you, what I need you all to do is put your finger on the card and push it up. And under there, you'll see these icons. Now, the Save button, if you click the Save button, it gives you options. Do you want to save it to this device? Do you want to save it to contacts? What do you want to do? And if you press Save to Device, it will recognize whether you've got an iPhone or an Android, and it will give you the step-by-step instructions. If you've got an Android, how do I add it? How do I save it to my home screen if I've got an Android? And it will walk you through those steps. Press the menu bar, select Add to Home Screen. If I've got an iPhone, how does it do it? And it will again recognize that you've got an iPhone and it will walk you through the steps. But what I need you all to do once you get your card is you will see once you click on the link that it will say save and then log in. So I need you all to log into the card, enter the email address you've got registered with CRMLS, and enter your password that you set at the time that you claimed your card. And then once you've logged in, you will then see these icons. And those icons really, view my Savvy Decks. You know, we're a mobile technology. You can actually click on, you know, view my Savvy cards. From here, it will take you to your dashboard or your engine room. So it just allows you access to your dashboard, you know. But yes, very important that you all log on. Confused about the NSDCAR member benefit, but Ruth said it was not available unless you had the benefit. Please explain. So, okay. So if you're a member of NSDCAR, Association of Realtors, you all have this product. Every single one of you, you've got this product. It's a member benefit. So, so you've got it if you're a member of NSDCAR. When entering listings into CRMLS, but is it with their Paragon? We enter listings into CRMLS, but it is with their Paragon platform. We don't have Matrix until September. We will not receive the Property Savvy cards. When I see Lindsay here replying to that, so all NSDCAR members who use both the Paragon platform and the Matrix platform can use this benefit. So there we go. When I click on SavvyCard tab using NSDCAR, is it asking to pay for the service and input? So I don't know where you're clicking, Kevin, excuse me, and I've got your details here for me to speak to you about something else. So no one on this call should be paying for this product. You've got this product. So Kevin, when you go to SavvyCard.com, where you need to go to, where you should go, excuse me, is if you think that the cards are already there for you, you're not buying an account. You know, people can purchase our product, but not you guys. You get it as a member benefit. So when you come to SavvyCard.com, I need you to go to Get Savvy Card because you're just claiming your account. Once you go to Get Savvy Card, then you enter the email address that you've got registered with CRMLS. And that will generate an email that will allow you to set your passwords and, you know, enter a cell number that will text the card directly to you. So we are asking specifically about the single property cards that is generated. Ruth stated that the listing had to be entered into Matrix, not Paragon. Very confusing. Okay. So, guys, I must confess, this whole Paragon thing has thrown me a little bit. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure that Jennifer, who's on this call, can also, clear that up for us. So, Jennifer, can I ask you to come on this call for me and just clear up that whole Paragon and CRMLS confusion? Let me unmute you. Jennifer? Jennifer, are you still available to us? So maybe Jennifer has left, excuse me. Okay, so yeah, guys, I'm sorry if there's confusion about the Paragon or CRMLS, but if you're with North San Diego Association of Realtors and you're putting a listing into your MLS, then I am going to say that you get a Property Savvy card for it as far as I am aware.
Hi, Ruth. It's Lindsay.
Great, thank you,
Hi,
Lindsay.
Let me clear that up. So for North San Diego County members, we have two platforms. We have the Paragon platform and the Matrix platform. So if you are a member with NSDCAR and you have the Paragon platform, you're fine. If you have the Matrix platform, you're fine. This is available to all of our members, no matter which platform you use.
Terrific. So when somebody puts a listing into either of those systems, either Paragon or a Matrix, you're saying that it will create a Property Savvy card for them regardless?
Yes, because we are part of CRMLS. We just have two different platforms right now going on. So no matter what member platform they use, it's all part of CRMLS when they're a member of the North County Association.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So that's great news. Thank you so much for that. Excuse me. So there we go, guys. If you put a listing into whichever system you're using, my system will create a Property Savvy card for you and notify you in real time. So that's great. Thank you so much. And I think that is the end of our calls. Where exactly do we go to claim our card? So when you want to claim your Savvy card, go to SavvyCard.com, and in the top right-hand corner, it says Get Savvy Card. So that's where you need to go to claim your account. And once you hit Get Savvy Card, you enter the email address that you've got registered with CRMLS and hit Submit. So that's how you claim your card.
They also have the option on their MLS dashboard. We have a Savvy Card tile on there as well that they should be able to click on and sign up for it as well.
Gotcha. Okay, great. So that really, I don't see any other questions here, guys. So if you have any other questions for me, so let me know. Failing that, one more. If I don't have a website set up yet, will this thing still benefit me? Should I set up a website first? So, Claudette, excuse me, if you don't have a website already, you do now. So when you think, what do you want a website to do, right? You want it to index in a Google search so that you can be found when people do a Google search. Well, your Savvy card will do exactly that for you. You have a full IDX search on this so that when people do find you, they can search for homes. So regardless of whether you've got a website or not, your Savvy card will act as a website for you. It is a website. So, you're having additional websites or having a traditional website created for you is neither here nor there, really, Okay, thank you, Ty. You're very kind. All right, guys, I just see lots of thank yous now, so that's really kind of you. Thank you very much for your time, you know. The last thing I might ask you to do, excuse me, is that if you have a moment, you know, North San Diego County Association of Realtors are very interested in understanding, you know, what their customers, what you as their members see in this tool, and whether you see it of value, you know, or not, which would be great. If I could ask you, if you have a moment, to just text the word survey to 72889. 72889 is Savvy, and it will return a link to you. And then we just ask you questions. Do you see value in the tool? You know, how do you rate the presentation? Do you have suggestions for the tool? And then we provide that information back to the association, you know, as feedback for them. So if you have a couple of minutes and you wouldn't mind doing it, that would be very much appreciated. Excuse me. So it's survey to 72889, which happens to be Savvy. And then the last thing I'm going to bring up here is, you know, if you have any interest or you need to speak to SavvyCard staff directly after you've been to Savvy School and you've got any issues, just go email us at support@savvycard.com or call us on 727-502-6012. We're on the East Coast of the United States, so we're Eastern time. And if you call us during business hours, you'll connect with us. If not, you'll get our voicemail. Just leave a voicemail and we'll get back to you the next day, you know. Or indeed, as I say, we've got live chat on our website. So they're the various ways that you can reach out to us if you've got any issues. All right, guys, I think that's done. We've kind of overrun here as well, and I don't see any more questions for me. So thank you so much for your time. And again, crazy times we're living in at the moment. So stay safe and keep well. And I hope all your family members are doing as well. All right. Thank you.